do you think a transparent blockchain system would help with, player-owned teams and unions?
100%. Transparency only helps. There is a sense that the lack of transparency gives the person who's holding that information a little bit more power, and to me that's
Right.
a sign of fairness. And I'm a lawyer, so I understand confidentiality. I get that, but that's more of like a one-on-one agreement. The transparent blockchain is an open agreement with your entity and the people who support it, and having the sense of mind to log in to the company that I'm a part of and say, I know exactly where all the money's going. I know exactly where all the tokens are going. I know who voted where. It to me is the next level of trust.
Right.
Actual trust, not the fake trust where you're kind of like don't really know, but here you really know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers don't lie. So
yeah.
And it could definitely help.
You were talking about code of conduct or user agreements.
Right.
What would you include on a code of conduct, and how will it help player unions and player-owned teams?
So a code of conduct would just memorialize how the players want to act, and almost in a sense of how they want other players to act,
mm-hmm.
other teams to act. And it should help the unions because then it spells out the rules that we're gonna hold ourselves to. No one's asking us to do this.
Right.
We understand that there's a certain sense of equitability in all of this, and we want everyone to know that we're going to act in a certain way, and they should too. And it's going to help the player-owned teams because the outward-looking code of conduct is also semi-inward-looking, so that the player union and the player-owned teams, they have like this very much an agreement that is, we understand that people working outside of us that are bigger than us aren't going to help, and
mm-hmm.
especially when we need them most. And let's just have the wherewithal and the idea that at the end of the day, we're going to hold ourselves accountable, and we're going to make sure that when I'm playing and my avatar does something that's really despicable against other players, that I understand that I'm offending everybody else on my team too.
Right.
Because I'm wearing that badge. And it goes without saying that you will offend them, but to have a code of conduct says you violated this rule that you agreed to. It wasn't just something that we kind of agreed to as a society. It's like we spelled this out and you went explicitly against it. And I think it holds people accountable. It makes the gaming community friendlier, better. I mean, I like a little bit of elbow throwing every now and then, but you can allow that.
Mm-hmm.
But it could get really serious, and that's just really not good.
Right. And how do you think blockchain and esports can work together?
So you already see it a little bit working together in certain esports communities.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain gaming companies and tournament companies that have been popularized now, where you can use like the token on their blockchain to vote for certain things, and they store it on the immutable blockchain. It creates a real-time stamped ledger that is
mm-hmm.
public, right? I mean, I'm not going to go through explaining blockchain, but you're able to vote with your tokens. You can participate in a transparent environment. Communities can actually now govern their favorite esports games. Some people already understand that they'll never be as good as the best players. And I totally understand that about myself. People have gone way better than I was when I was playing. And that's okay. But at the same time, like with football, we all have our fantasy football teams. I will never play on a football team, maybe in high school, but like, when it comes to, we feel a part of it, and we also feel, and taking that to the next level is that with blockchain and esports, you're creating a transparent environment of an environment that is already so huge. I mean, there's so many viewers, right? Millions and millions of viewers over but a small period of time who can just sign on and watch it on their phones. It's just insane that only a handful of companies have tried to use blockchain to monetize it or to help out or to do something on it. So they're going to be able to work together. We have no idea where it's going to go. We can see just a couple steps in the future, but just like the internet with AOL and Instant Messenger, we now can see exactly what came of that. It's like we're video chatting. Who would have thought that we could video chat in real time over the span of, with no lag?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't feel any lag here. I can hear you perfectly. So And I don't think anybody saw that coming. So yeah, they're going to work together, and it's a community that can show other communities that blockchain is possible, and it should be used, and it should be explored. And yeah, transparency is best, I think.
Right. And, our brand, Aether United, wants to unite these two. And how do you think this will go for esports and blockchain? Do you think we'll revolutionize something for the world?
Yes. And I usually say that depends. That's usually my answer. But I've had an opportunity to talk to a few people who work with Aether United, and I see a little bit of where you're going with what you've created, and I see it only helping the esports community as creating a truly organized and transparent example of what can happen. I'm not sure what the following steps are, but I know with the group that you have that that you've held transparency as key, and you want the community to help as well. So it can only become something great if we let it, which is why I'm signed on to here in the first place, and which is why I'm loving being a part of this video, and I really thank you for bringing me on. I think it's great.
Of course.
It's only going to become better. It's only going to grow. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think that ends our interview. To the viewers out there, if you want to check out Ian, his links will be down below in the description, as well as Aether United, our social media and our website, etc. They'll all be down in the description. And yeah, thank you, Ian. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having me.